Los Angeles, California, it's Landed Late Night. Tonight's guest. And now, your host, Haley Ringo.
Welcome back to Landed Late Night. I'm your host, Haley Ringo. Tonight we have co-founder of Wear, a sustainable modern travel brand that just surpassed their Kickstarter campaign by nearly double. Please welcome Rachael Kemp! Woo! You look like an Italian woman stallion. You look amazing.
Exactly what I was
Did you just
going
get
for
off a
this
boat
morning.
from Capri and come here?
That's the intention.
That's what you're doing. What you have done is unreal. So crazy how much money you've raised and the company that you've created and the heart behind it. Where did the idea and the concept of Wear come from?
Travel was in my DNA. I was so used to being on planes. I can't even tell you the first time that I went on a plane because it was so a part of our life.
What do your parents do?
My parents are both pastors,
Okay.
and so they travel a lot to do ministry work,
Awesome.
and also they just loved to travel as well.
Yeah.
So we got to travel literally all of the time. It was amazing.
That's so cool.
This love for the fashion industry started to come into play when I was in high school, and
Okay.
I started noticing that something that I loved doing in my own personal life was styling myself. And so I have this really funny, clear memory of one time wearing a romper in high school, and rompers weren't really a thing quite yet. And I remember one of my friends coming up to me saying wow, that's really bold of you.
It kind of wasn't a...
Yeah, and she was like, do you have to take that whole thing off to use the bathroom? We were still learning that concept
Right.
of yes, you have
fully
to take...
nude in the bathroom,
yes,
and it's
please
an
don't
ordeal.
peek through the stall because here I am.
Yes.
Yeah, so I kind of started learning that about myself.
exposed.
I know. I started learning that I really wanted to go into the fashion industry, but I wasn't really sure to what degree that looked like.
Right.
So then in college, I didn't major in anything within the fashion
Who
industry.
does? You know what I mean?
Not a lot of people do, and I just got a ton of internships in college.
Well,
all over the
no
place.
one majors in what they end up doing.
Oh,
I feel
yeah.
like.
Oh, that's so
it's
true.
Never. It's
Yeah.
never. I did history. What?
Yeah.
So okay,
Well, there was some intention to what I wanted to major in.
Yeah. Well, but what you said, you got a bunch of internships
Yeah.
and experience is
Yeah.
what's gonna. That's how you learn things, right?
Yeah, and I didn't want to get my degree in something in the fashion industry because I wanted to get something a little bit more broad that I could kind of use forever rather than just being okay, maybe this is just a phase of my life.
Right.
Because I think that happens a lot to people as they go to fashion school and it's just a phase and
Yeah.
they realize they don't want to do it anymore. So anyway, so I got my bachelor's in comm studies, communication studies, and I had a bunch of internships throughout college. And then I started to kind of hone in what I actually liked about the industry and what I realized I liked. I didn't really love the PR side. What I really loved was working with brands. And so I got this job directly out of college, which was incredible, only because I had amazing internships. I got to intern with Rodarte and here in LA, and that's literally the reason why I got my job right out of college, which was working with this amazing denim brand called Sandrine Rose, and they're based in Los Angeles. They do all the production out of Los Angeles, which was amazing.
Yeah, that is really cool.
All made in LA, and I was totally thrown into the deep end. Given the production manager's role within the first 3 months of me being there. Meanwhile, I'm fresh out of college. I have not really any experience.
Right.
And I'm handed 11 factories that I need to
so they threw you to the
oversee.
sharks is what happened.
100%.
Yeah.
So I learned to swim very quickly.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but I started to really fall in love with fashion then is that I got to see kind of the textiles industry from a different perspective, which was this production side, and I really started to fall in love with the people that were making our clothes, with the entire process. Denim is a crazy industry, and Los Angeles is known for denim. Anyway, so I got to do so many roles at this job because it was a startup.
Yeah.
So I got to have my hands in the media, I got to have my hands in sales, I got to have my hands in production, all of the above. Pretty much so much so that I got to the point where I was wow, there's not a lot
that I can't do.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but that's amazing.
Honest,
but with startups too,
Everyone does
everything.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. They're like, listen, you just got to figure it out. Like, we don't know either, and no one never knows what they're doing, you know what I mean?
So here I am Googling, like, how to set up ads, how to set up everything.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so then I worked at that job for almost 3 years, and I got to the place in my life where I realized, you know, we're essentially running this brand Sandrine Rose, we were essentially running this brand, me, Sandrine, a sales rep, and then the logistics manager. And I just kind of got to the point where I really wanted to start doing something that I was in love with.
Right.
And I wanted to fuse the two worlds that are so me, which is fashion and travel. And so the idea for Wear kind of birthed out of this love that I have for two industries, to fuse them together. And, you know, when I started looking into the possibility of, like, does this make sense in my life? Can I do this? Could I start a brand at my age? Like, is that even feasible? Am I being ridiculous? And is there a market for it? Was another huge question. And after doing some extensive research and just seeing all the travel trends that we have, you know, now, it's ready. Like, the market is ready for something like Wear. So that's kind of how it got started. And I took this big leap of faith to try to do it, and here I am.
And then it freaking shot. I mean, the fact that you raised $90,000.
$90,000.
That's insane.
Yeah, and we haven't, like, people don't even have a product in their hand yet. Yeah, which is crazy.
That is crazy. Okay, what does that even look like? Like, what was the process like? What was the time period of raising the $90,000? Yeah. How do you, like, do you have to guarantee people that you will give them a product at some point? Or are they just kind of, like, hoping that you will, and you may or may not give them a product?
Yeah. Kickstarter is kind of its, like, own world. Mm-hmm. It's a beast to tackle, let me tell you. I had some ideas about what Kickstarter would be, but really, once we were in it, did I learn how difficult it is. It's a lot more of a challenge. It's a much bigger challenge than you think, because there's no such thing as magic money, right? Like, so the process of Kickstarter, for us at least, we decided, you know, like, so many Kickstarter brands, or just products typically, are launched on Kickstarter hoping that they can raise some kind of money to start this. It's not even necessarily a brand. Sometimes people are just launching a product, and they're just seeing if they could make a couple of dollars off of it. But for us, we need an exponential amount of money to get this off the ground, because we have, you know, we kind of started the whole idea of Wear with our values first, which is, like, what do we want to stand for as a company, and how are we going to stand out in this world of a lot of noise in the fashion industry, because there's so many brands in the world. It's ridiculous. So how do we want to stand out? So we kind of wanted to start there, to start with, like, what do we stand for, and then go from there. So one of our big values is creating everything ethically and sustainably made. For myself, it's a trend right now, but for myself, it actually really hits home, because I did do production in my last job, and working one-on-one with people and working in factories, literally within, like, their working conditions were just, in my opinion, so unhealthy. And it was so important that whatever I touched in my life next, like, we valued people first. And so so we started kind of listing with our values, and doing everything ethical and sustainable was a huge value of ours. So that means that we needed more money in order to produce out of a manufacturer that was ethical and sustainable. So with Kickstarter, everybody does it different. We started with our values, and then I sourced our manufacturer, and then we went into product development, and we developed our product. A lot of times with Kickstarter, people just have an idea. They don't even have a physical product yet. Yeah. So we had a physical product. We shot it on people. We created a campaign page, and then we began advertising for it probably a month in advance, began creating an email list of people who would be potentially interested. Yeah. And so we launched our campaign with about 7,000 subscribers to our email list, which was great.
How did you get, like, the email list and the subscribers?
Yeah, I mean, it was through advertising, getting people to kind of sign up. The idea was, can we collect some emails for people so that on day one we can fund as much as possible? Because there's just kind of like this, like, what's it called? There's a formula for Kickstarter where they say if you don't fundraise all of your goal within the first 3 days, you're not going to make it at all. So, and Kickstarter is all or nothing. So if you don't hit your goal, which in our case was 50,000, if we don't hit our 50,000 goal within the first 3 days, we're unlikely to hit our goal at all. So you kind of have to gear up as a company to get that money right away.
And if you don't get the money, do you have to give the money back? Like, if you don't reach your goal, do you have to give the money back to the people?
Well, Kickstarter actually manages that themselves, so
Okay.
they don't charge your credit card until the campaign is over.
Got it.
So it collects your temp pledge
Okay.
and collects all the information, your credit card, that kind of thing, and then at the very end,
Got it.
they charge
Oh my
you.
gosh. Okay,
Yeah.
so and your goal was 50, and you made
Yeah.
it to 90, which is
We made it to 90.
insane.
Yeah.
How?
Yeah.
So over 3 days then?
No, it was way harder than I expected. I mean, some people had told us that, but I, of course, in my own brain, I was like, we have a great product. We're going to be fine. And I thought we were going to be fine because day one hit and we raised $28,000.
Wow.
Which was incredible.
Yeah.
However, we had a major hiccup happen to us, which we couldn't have predicted. So 3 days into our campaign, we got blacklisted by Facebook, and we run all of our ads through Facebook. So our hyperlink to Facebook or to our ads got completely blacklisted. So we had to shut down.
How?
Oh, I don't even know. We have a couple of leads on how, but they never gave us a solid answer. So we get blacklisted within the first 3 days of our campaign.
That's a conspiracy.
I know, 100%. Well, like now Facebook has all of these like regulations because they got hacked and stuff. So we had to go through this like long chain of command, and it was ridiculous. So day one we made $28,000. Day three, when all of our ads got shut down, we made $100. That's it.
Oh my gosh.
So at this point, I was like, we're fucked.
Yeah.
Like there's no way we're gonna make our goal. We're at day three, start freaking out. Like,
Right.
what are we gonna do? And so we find out that our hyperlink is blacklisted. So we had to shut down all of our advertising for 10 days. 10 days. So here I am going into crisis mode. Like,
Yeah.
what the hell are we going to do?
But you've been there before. You were in the deep end before and you made it all
I know.
work.
So this is where it really got creative. We just started, essentially then we started tackling our email list and was like, okay, we need to convert these people on our email list.
Yeah.
And we also need to get people to start donating anything, like literally $1 would help. So we started running this, would you donate $1 to a small business campaign? And then we hit our 50,000 goal.
Wow.
Within the 10 days while all of our advertising was shut down. So it was kind of crazy.
Wow.
And then it kind of picked up back at the end. So we actually rounded out at $75,000 on Kickstarter, but then we had another 15 come in outside of Kickstarter. Because Kickstarter actually takes a good percentage of what you make.
Yeah.
So that's kind of unfortunate, but Kickstarter has a really crazy following of like 3 million people.
Right.
So it's kind of worth it.
It's kind of worth it.
Yeah.
You also do this with your brother-in-law. He is the other founder, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what has that partnership been like for you?
Yeah. So the partnership kind of came about when I first decided I think I want to start my own company.
Okay.
I started entertaining the idea, but I didn't know like what the hell that looked like.
Right.
Yeah. I'm still at my other job at this point, still very, very new in the works. And so my sister and I are really close, and he is married. Chris is married to my sister,
Okay.
Hannah. And so I tell my sister Hannah what I want to do, what I'm up to, and I get this phone call from Chris out of the blue. I didn't expect this at all. And he was like, hey, Rach, like, I really believe in you, and I think, like, this idea that you have could actually be something kind of significant. He's like, I've been really looking for an opportunity where I could take my skill set, which is, I don't know, 10 years or something in the tech consulting world.
Wow.
And apply it to a small business. And I've always wanted to potentially start my own company, but this feels like maybe it's just the right opportunity. And he's actually also a traveler. Him and my sister travel constantly. And so he gets it.
Right.
He really understands, especially like with my sister, who tends to be an overpacker. She'd kill me for saying that. She'd probably defend herself and say that
We
he
all
packs.
are.
Yeah.
I mean,
he calls me and he says, like, Rachel, I think I want in on this. And I think I started crying and I was like, really? Someone believes in me?
Oh my God. Yeah, I mean,
so we essentially, it started from that moment on. And, Chris is someone who is completely opposite of me. He is thoughtful. He is, not thoughtful. Like, okay, he is thoughtful. No, he makes all of his decisions by looking at every single opportunity, beginning to end. And I tend to go with my gut in a lot of choices.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily always do the research. And he really researches everything. Like, if Chris comes to me saying, I think this is the right option, I will trust exactly what he said because he's researched it front to end.
Yeah.
And he comes from this tech consulting world, and so much of the fashion industry now is tech. Mm-hmm. He understands
because of
business.
e-commerce.
Yeah, because of commerce and because of accessibility and because everything now is online. So fashion and tech are really so intertwined. Like, you don't really see a lot without the other now. For instance, you go into retail stores, and now you go into Reformation and you choose what you want to try on a screen, and then they bring you your clothes. I don't know if
haven't done that. Yeah, but that sounds so fun.
Yeah, it's really interesting. So, anyways, tech and fashion are completely fused. Yeah. So he comes from this tech world, and something that we really need. He also understands business, and he understands finance. All the things that I don't want to do that he knows about. And so I do all of the creative. Yeah. And I do pretty much all of the PR, the media, anything you see is coming from me, but we've collaborated on all of the decision making for the business, and he's helped us draft out business plans, and he's incredible. We have a partnership that I think we're still learning how to work together because it's a whole new dynamic working with family. They say not to do it, but I feel like I've gotten really, really lucky so far.
Yeah, it helps being partners with somebody who is super thoughtful and thinks everything through, because then you trust them. You know that, like, and also he's your family. Like, you know his heart. So it's like, that's just really cool to have that kind of partnership within a company and with starting something that's so new. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, I would have probably cried too if someone called me and was, because that's, the fact that he was in, the tech world for 10 years and like he wants to leave that job and then come help you and start this company. Like, that is a huge deal.
It's
and
huge.
That speaks volumes about like the vision for what it's going to be and what it already is, And I think, that's amazing. So finding a manufacturer, what was that like?
The best place to look is actually to go to trade shows. And so the best one is in Paris. It's called Premier Vision. And it's the biggest textile trade show in the world. And all of these manufacturers come into one spot, and you can literally source everything there, like fur, trims, buttons, fabrics, you name it, they have it, and it's huge, like huge.
And it's all ethically sourced?
No,
okay.
No. So it's not. And most of it honestly isn't. Okay. But what I did was I started looking through this list of exhibitors that were going to be going to Premier Vision, and I just started researching which ones practice sustainability. So sustainability is like water usage, energy usage, waste consumption, things like that. But then you have ethics, which is more workplace practices, fair wages, working conditions, things like that. So this company that we work with is called Everest Textile. They are used by Patagonia, Lululemon, Everlane, some of the big, great people. Yeah, so once we saw it firsthand, we knew, like, this is the company, the manufacturer that we would like to start working with.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's next for Wear? Like, where do you want to take the company?
Yeah, so right now we are in production for a Kickstarter. This is one of our pieces. This is our gingham plaid tank. Yeah, this is our shift and snap tank.
Oh my gosh.
And our collection consists of 3 pieces right now. We're going to expand, but we wanted to start kind of with this capsule collection. Yes,
I want to touch this. Oh my god. Oh, it's like stretchy.
Yeah, it's a little stretchy. This one
I love that.
It's going to be even softer than this. It's more like silk, which I'll show it to you later, but it's really incredible. But this is our gingham plaid.
So cute.
And it comes in gingham, and then we have 3 colors, and then it's the tank, the short, and the dress. And the whole concept for the brand started when I had this like specific travel dress that I loved so much, and I was traveling in Europe with one of my friends, and I lost this dress. And she was like my go-to dress. You know when you pack a bunch of stuff? Yeah,
I named her.
You know when you pack a bunch of stuff, and then in your suitcase, like you only wear 3 of those items? That literally happens to me every single time. And this dress was one of my go-to pieces out of my backpack of stuff. And I had worn this dress probably probably almost every single day of the trip. And on my very last day, I lost it in Sevilla, Spain. And I mourned over it. And when I started conceptualizing the idea for the brand, that dress came to mind. And I thought, we need a travel capsule where this is my go-to travel pieces. Yeah. And so essentially that's what we wanted to create. So we're in production for those 3 pieces right now.
Oh my gosh.
And
when do they launch?
These are for the Kickstarter. Okay. And then we plan to launch our e-com site hopefully by this winter if all goes well.
That's so exciting. Yeah. Oh my gosh. So this is like literally just happened. Like when did your campaign end?
1 month ago.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so
That
we're
is-
in the like baby stages, and yeah, we're learning a lot about working with international manufacturers, and we're gearing up to expand the line. A few more pieces are in the
I can't
works,
wait.
so it's really exciting.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm like so floored by you. You're so like just how you speak. You're so intelligent. You're so knowledgeable about the industry, and like I love that, you know, you just figured everything out like along the way. Like you were thrown into, you know,
You kind of have
this
no
mass-
choice.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
you don't.
Yeah.
But like, you know, a lot of people can just peace out and be like,
Yeah.
nope.
Yeah.
And instead you just kept going deeper
Yeah.
into the deep end.
Yeah.
Figuring it out. It's so cool.
100%.
So how can people find Wear?
Yeah, so right now you can go to our website, shopware.com, and there's a link there that you can pre-order Wear for this time while we're in production, and then we'll full-fledged launch our e-com site this fall.
Oh my gosh.
Mhm.
Oh, it's gonna be so exciting. Also, what's your Instagram handle for Wear?
It's shopware, and it's spelled SHOP.
Okay.
WAYRE. So we kind of created this word wear. The idea is what you wear and where you go.
I love that.
Yes.
What you wear and where you go.
Yeah.
Play on words. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Okay. Don't forget to join us every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. I'll be dropping a new episode. And yeah, I've loved having you on. You're amazing. You're kicking ass. Taking names, baby. Wrecking deck. Hey. Y'all have a great week. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.